Good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you doing today? For instance, it's True Blue Tea, for instance. It's True Blue Tie here from Thailand. Okay, hope you're doing very well. For instance, guess what time? In around 3 o'clock. Yes, again. But I've just done a video prior to that, etc. For instance, on the ladies who are playing Hammersby today, for instance, and just wish them well on their quest in Stockholm against a very, very fiery indoor atmosphere, for instance in the Champions League, where they're doing very, very well, putting them into shame. And for instance, and leading their group and doing very, very well. And the first defeat was against Chelsea, which I didn't think they deserved to lose. Anyway, so I just want to go did a quick video of that one, a preview of the game, to listen to Gareth and to listen to Bunny. For instance, I know one quick chat about the Manchester City men's news or anything which has come out of the city over the last 24 hours. For instance, since having a chat, went down to the beach yesterday. You haven't seen my video. For instance, I went down to celebrate Pep Guardiola, extension signing, etc. For instance, so I went pop down to the beach, not to make anybody jealous or angry and saying, because I know you've had it pretty bad over there in the weather in the UK at the moment. I believe it's snowing. I was listening to Bunny show a while ago. She was actually saying now she's quite looking forward to getting away from the cold weather in Stockholm and going back to Manchester. So I don't know how she's going to react when she gets off the plane when she realises the snow. But I don't know how much snow you had. Saw quite a few people posting pictures. For instance, it probably doesn't stay long on the ground, but it is a bit early, isn't it? Really, what's it going to have snow in the UK? So, yeah. Anyway, good luck to you. We've got a bit of a cloud into it, but mostly a sunny day. For instance, here in Thailand, 31 degrees, 32. Instead of feel like temperature, 36, 37. I don't think so. For instance, it's going to rain tomorrow. Chickens are out. Yeah, it's definitely 3 o'clock. If you can hear them. And so for instance, I went down to the beach yesterday, for instance, going to celebrate, to basically show you the beach. Cause some people actually said to me, I don't live in Thailand, yeah. Quiet in the area here, for instance, most of the people have gone out. The motorbikes are here, honestly. Saw some motorbike riding yesterday. Ludicrous, stupid. Poor girl on the back of its motorbike going flying down the road. I said, you can see the red lights. But they came flying down the road, etc. Absolutely ludicrous. Poor little girl holding on for dear life as this stupid flying down the road. It's just absolutely ludicrous. It really is. For instance, for instance, the road statistics in Thailand is shocking beyond belief. Really is. For instance, really, really, really bad. If you come in here, be smart. Don't think of this and don't think of this, thinking that that's going to because you can wear a motorbike, and a baseball cap and etc. For instance, because there's far too many injuries, far too many people die, far too many injuries. Talking about a guy yesterday who's basically got his going to have his leg chopped off. He had a motorbike accident, a British guy, another one. So, for instance, and there's far too many. Anyway, so be safe if you're coming to Thailand. This is not Benidorm, this is not Ibiza, this is Thailand, for instance, and Beverly and West Gordon. If you get into trouble over here, for instance, it can go wrong big time. Be smart, really, please, I swear to God. Too many, we're in the high season now, for instance, and see too many phalanx flying up down this road, just Vito, or Second Road or Beach Road, on motorbikes, etc., feeling that they've got something, special, and then clearly not. So, for instance, they really are stupid, really stupid. Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on. It's just depressing, especially when you see all the people dying as well, for instance, and having that massive accidents and whatever, and it's just madness. It really, can ruin your life. Just, just be smart. Wear a helmet, for God's sake. Baseball cap is not a helmet. I know you want to be free and you see the Thais doing it, etc. But honestly, I kid you not, for instance, you are going to be in serious problems. Concrete on your head will cut it open and you'll end up paying, paying this because your insurance will not be valid because you don't wear a helmet. And for instance, you can end up in serious trouble. Serious trouble. So, for instance, and the roads in Thailand are not good. Seriously. Yeah, and it's not conducive to what's the goal to being crazy on a motorbike. So don't do it. Been here 3 years, seen too many people having too many accidents, and when a couple of weeks into the summer season, and that's all I'm seeing at the moment. Anyway, it's supposed to be about football. This, sorry, I'm just begging people, for instance, who've got to listen to me, for instance, yeah, and adhere some advice. Anyway, so here I am, true blue tie, back in Thailand, etc. For instance, still celebrating and smarting and smiling and seeing the aftermath of. I saw typical City yesterday. Johnny what's called doing a nice video of Matt Goldbridge with drinking his cup of tea. That was very funny, and yeah. Goldbridge, oh, he's not staying, he's not staying. How many rival fans have said that? What's it called oh, he's going, he's leaving. Ever since that Sky Sports went on the pitch and he interviewed what's it called after we won the fourth trophy, for instance, he said, well, how long are you going to stay here? He said, I'm more going than leaving. He didn't say he was leaving that day. He wasn't finishing. He said he wasn't staying here for another 9 years. And considering he was supposed to be only staying for 3 or maybe 4, the mere fact that he's going to do at least 10 and maybe 11, okay, for instance, it was absolutely fantastic. I was at Barcelona 4 years. I can't remember. I think it was 3 years. It was at Bayern, and in Manchester City for 10 years. Little old Manchester City, tiny little Manchester City. What's it called? That never in my lifetime. Ferguson quote, for instance, that tiny little club, for instance, and having the world's best manager for 10 years. For instance, has been brilliant and shows his loyalty to the club, his love for the club, and yeah, for instance, and yeah, and he's still willingness to kick on. I think you might have gone to see the what's it called, the documentary, which is on City Plus or City One or whatever you want to call it, which I want to see. I believe Stream Company. I mean, I believe, for instance, Big Steve went and a few others went down last night to see the premiere of that, which was I wouldn't want to see it myself. For instance, I've seen a few excerpts from it. It looks brilliant, of the players, etc. For instance, and yeah, behind the scenes. It's always nice to see behind the scenes, because again, for instance, a lot of the videos of what we do at the moment, etc. When we talk about football, is it is basically circumstantial. It's about we don't really know about for instance what really happens. We can speculate. We can I was listening to LB and Martin talk about transfers. And and it was a 2-hour show. For instance. I turned it off to the truth, and it wasn't because of any other reason. It's because, for instance, we read the same old thing and talk about the same old thing. And he wasn't. It's not being disrespectful to them. It was the fact that I'm kind of like bored of it. For instance, because quite honestly, we don't really know. We know who we would like. LB was right in what he said because he doesn't watch the Ukrainian league. He didn't watch the other leagues, for instance. So he doesn't know, for instance, who about transfers, for instance, who we're going to get, for instance, who City are looking at. You only can look at, for instance, in the scouts, because City scouts everywhere, and getting reports from everywhere about certain players. So we never know. We never knew about Alvarez. We certainly don't know about Echeverry. We didn't certainly know about a lot of the players, for instance, until they come on the scope, really, until people start talking about them. But so he was right about that and what we would like. But again, for instance, and yeah, in January. But I think sometimes you can talk about it too much about who we should get, save, go, blah blah blah. For instance, and yeah, and even though they did do a great stream yesterday, for instance, I thought if I had too many in what we need, because we definitely need to buy somebody. To definitely need to go in the market. It was great that Tiki came out about, for instance, our transfer windows and about the treble and about certain players being very, what's it called, got above their station too much, how they want the pay rise and the big contract, and for instance, and players who didn't want to work in the Champions League wanted to leave, Mr. Kyle Walker. Yeah, I saw, for instance, and I think it was yeah, for instance, yeah, and some players are getting a bit too much above their station. And we don't know, for instance, there probably is a lot of, if he'll come out in the wash that we probably went through a lot of players. I think I've heard Pep saying a few times, we've gone through a lot of players, but they just don't want to come for one reason or another. For instance, Why? I don't know. Yeah, but it could be personal. It could be, for instance, family reasons. It could be, for instance, and it's not going to be about the stupid weather. You know, and I can't stand it. Every time a player is linked with United, the weather never, ever gets mentioned. When a player gets linked with Manchester City, it's always the weather. The weather. Have you not listened to this? Every time you talk about Manchester City, the weather in Manchester, weather, living in Manchester, like it's the the back end of the earth, etc. It's the black hole of Calcutta, for instance. But when a player's linked to United, you know, I don't know how far Salford, you know, what the weather's like in Salford most of the time, etc. When I was living in Manchester, but I don't think it was much different than what it is in. So I don't understand how that never gets mentioned. How they never get players never gets who's linked with United, for instance, who never gets mentioned about the weather. But as soon as Manchester City, I was listening to ESPN Ogden, and he was on about even though he's staying for 10 years. Pep, he's braving the Manchester weather. Flip, so we had this nonsense 10 years ago. Oh, he's not going to go to Manchester City. He's for instance, because of the weather. Oh, God damn it! Gee whiz! Seriously, you know, and it's like, you know, Pep Guardiola. They were saying that, for instance, he's grateful because he's been be able to give him the job, the response, the money, for instance, not just the money, what's it called, but the support, the backing, the help, everything he needs to do his job. That's what a manager wants. It's got fucking all to do with the weather. You know, and gee whiz. You know, for instance, I remember, for instance, watching a lot of Ukrainian teams, a lot of Brazilians. Brazilians. They're playing for Ukraine. Fernandinho, for instance, lived in Ukraine. All these Brazilians come from 30-degree heat down to live in the Ukraine. Why they go there? They don't go, oh, I'm not going to Ukraine because of the weather. Stupid. Honestly, I just don't. Sometimes the British media just get some, you know, the way they tout Manchester City, some like back end of the earth, etc. For instance, yeah, and it just absolutely drives me crazy. So, but yeah, so we're going to see, for instance, about January the transfer window. I'm glad we, you know, like we've had this another the international breaks, no more international breaks until March, because it really just drag you on, and the way they talk about for instance, and we have to keep talking about the same old thing because we don't know. We need to get the season going now, and hopefully on Saturday, for instance, there's a big step. What's it called? The players will be going to have a big step. The documentary's out. Pep will have signed his contract hopefully tomorrow. Today could be today. It's Pella has the body. Yeah, Thursday, so it could be today. So yeah, so I'm expecting to see him pen to paper on a 1 year, 1 year. So and which have been saying for decades. But you know, they've been saying for a long time it was going to be a 1 year, 1 year plus. And so, for instance, and yeah, there was only a 99.99999% doubt in my mind about say a week ago. But other than that, things he was saying. But I think it was probably about a bit frustrated because the players getting in too much injuries. But the players now probably coming back off the fact that they played too many games. That's the reason why we get so many injuries. Too many games. You know, it's catching up. Rodri, typical example. There you go. So, for instance, yeah, it's yeah. Well, so for instance, well, hopefully we'll build up. We've got Rodri coming on. Talk about Rodri with his Ballon d'Or. He'll be on the pitch, and that will give a lot of the fans a lot of boost. For instance, a lot of the players are back in training. I saw Kanji, I saw Walker, I saw friends who was already back in a way. I saw Grealish, I saw Kevin De Bruyne. As long as Kevin De Bruyne starts, we've got Phil Foden starting, and really take the game to Spurs. You know, for instance, and cross it to Haaland, get those crosses in, get them, you know, whatever, and then, you know, for instance, and get that game won and won convincingly because we need to bounce back now and bounce back big. And I think what's it called, if we do that, it'd be great, absolutely superb. And I would, yeah. So for instance, that's what I'm hoping for Manchester to do to bounce back on Saturday. We'll have a preview prior to the game. For instance, on the Saturday, when I get more information. Again, for instance, I'm stepping a house in front of you, so for instance, I won't hear the press conference until 10, 11 o'clock at night over here. So, for instance, I'll have a quick chat about, see, for instance, if I've heard anything. but from what I can see on the training pitch, we probably have quite most of our players back. I think the only people will be missing will be Oscar and Francis, who's coming back as well. He should be back by December, January at the latest. And Rodri, for instance, who's hoping to be back before the end of the season, which I doubt it. Apart from that, for instance, I heard of Man City are bringing in the kids channel, Man City Kids. So, for instance, which is going to be great. I don't know if it's going to be a cartoon of Pep Guardiola and Erling Haaland, etc. But I know it was what was his name? Caldoons. Was it Caldoons or Saran? Baby, for instance, they want it. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be superb. And you see a lot of these cartoon caricatures going on and everything, and of City players, and so they have a cartoon of Manchester City from, I grew up with Roy the Rovers and the Beano, and yeah, so for instance, so, and if you have something to grow the fan base and bring on the youth, so why not? So I think it'd be a good idea, and yeah, and I think Mark Ogden yesterday, for instance, he was saying how the fact that there was a uh, was it Ogden? I don't know, and for instance, who was saying how the fact that there was what do you call it? How, for instance, it was Saran's baby, for instance, and about the idea, for instance, buying clubs, and people thought, why do you need more than one club? So there you go. So, for instance, but yeah, let's go for it. Man City Kids, I'm watching it each and every week. Yeah, for instance, anything as good as Bugs Bunny, I'd be very happy. Or Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry or Bugs Bunny, for instance. There you go. Never a Mickey Mouse guy behind the schools. Always Bugs Bunny. What's up, Doc? Yeah. Roadrunner, my favourite. Roadrunner. Beep beep. He was my favourite. Most important drink in Thailand. Water. No. Anything else? What's it called? Transfers. Nothing on about transfers. Nothing really going on. Nothing. Not speculating too much. Just basically, for instance, what I've been telling you. Really, I haven't heard anything. If you can tell me anything you've heard, that'd be great. First of all, conversation where you can have a chat about what you think, what you think of what I'm doing here. For instance, you might disagree more than likely. For instance, I do apologise. I'm an old man, 60 years old. The sun does here, makes you older. But I did have a very fat face when I first came here. For instance, I was a very fat man. I've lost a lot of weight. So, but yeah, but other than that, I feel fit as a fiddle. Never been as fit as I feel now, and which I'm very delighted. So, but yeah, and yeah, I wish you guys luck. If I hear anything, or I'll let you know. But other than that, for instance, don't know of anything more to say about any news I've heard. Just from the last 24 hours. But well, yeah. If I hear anything special breaks before the sun sets over here, or maybe afterwards, I can do it inside. But this is True Blue Thai from Thailand. I will catch you tomorrow, hopefully, and we can have a chat. See if we can. Hopefully, we can see the pictures of Pep signing, and yeah, and hopefully, I've seen the the quadruple documentary. Treble documentary. I saw the treble documentary. I want to see the quadruple documentary, and yeah, and, yeah. Anyway, sorry to get from Thailand. Hope you have a good day. Thank you very much for talking. Good luck to the ladies today. And if you're coming to Thailand, as I can't stress it more often. That's the reason why I talk about it a lot. Be safe, be smart, be safe. Great place. There's a thing in Laos at the moment with a lot of girls. Some girls, British girls, people have died. Two Australian girls, one just died. For instance, two Danish girls have died. It appears that they were in Laos, and we had something similar in Thailand about a couple of weeks ago, where they've been drinking methanol, and all you need is a bit of methanol, and for instance, in your whiskey, and for instance, or a welcome drink or whatever they had in this Lao, for instance, it looked like a backpackers hotel, and basically, for instance, they end up dead. When it happened in Thailand, I think we lost I think they lost about half a dozen people. For instance, Thai people who died, were critically injured, on dialysis. So you've really got to be careful what you drink. You know, for instance, what you do, what be smart over here, because again, for instance, they were just having a welcome drink, and for instance, it appears that it was laced with methanol, and methanol is a clear 100% poison. And now, for instance, yeah, so Australia have lost a couple, for instance, or lost one. I think I just saw on Sky News Australia. For instance, Great Britain have lost one. For instance, in America, they've got a lady injured and two Danish little girls have gone, for instance, because of this methanol in this drink. And so you're giving it a shot and you don't know, you're uncertain, don't think you're Mr. Universe or Miss Universe, you can take on the world. And too many people let their guard down too much over here, for instance. And basically, for instance, you've got to be smart. Smart, not smart, smart in your head. Really have. So, anyway, guys, let's see what happens today with the ladies, and I'll chat with you tomorrow, for instance. And be safe in Thailand. If you're coming over here, take care. If you need any questions about Thailand, if you're coming over here, more than welcome to ask me. For instance, I've been here 3 years. I live in the Thai area, Pasta Thai. Well, might not talk Thai. So, for instance, yeah, I've got a good idea of the place. So, but yeah, always learning. But anyway, take care, guys.